What's up, everyone? Welcome back to the Collider Interview Studio at San Diego Comic-Con 2024. I'm with some of my favorite people on the planet, the cast of Ghosts. Yep. Utkarsh, I'm dying to ask you about this now. So whenever you moderate a panel, you get like very detailed information in terms of what you're going to reveal on the panel. The Joe said something about Jay today that I was not briefed on.
It floored every single one of us.
Yeah, it was cool.
Yeah.
He's like, what was your reaction when you found out he was going to see Ghosts?
Look, we're all just fighting for screen time here, baby. And if I can get a couple more seconds for those brand deals, I'm all for it. If Reebok can watch me for a couple more seconds, I'm excited. It's fun to be able to know that we'll actually be able to interact and work with some of the other folks in the cast. We work together, but not in scenes together, if that makes sense. So I'm really excited.
So we as viewers all want to see something like that happen for Jay, but it can't happen just to happen. It has to serve him and his journey well. So is there anything about him seeing Ghosts that you think will build him as a character?
You know what? If I've learned anything about this show is that it's going to happen just because it happens. You know what I mean?
I don't.
I don't know. I think maybe... No.
I mean, maybe
I'm
it'll
gonna
give you a
say
he's not
stronger
gonna learn,
connection
change, and grow
to
at all.
Sam.
It would maybe make Sam appreciate...
Or just make her more sympathetic to you, like having seen it through her eyes
treat
for
me
a
with
minute.
a little bit more respect.
Well, that's
Are
one
we
of the
saying
things
same
I'm
thing?
genuinely most excited about, how it changes the dynamic between the two of them now that she's not separate in how all this operates.
I mean, it would be really cool. Also, I don't know what Sasappis looks like, right? Because he died before photos and art and everything. Oh, wait.
But you do in the dream.
I do
Yeah.
in my dreams.
Yeah,
I don't know
you
what
do know.
Thorfinn looks
Yeah.
like.
Yeah.
So it'd be really cool for Jay, I think, to be like, oh,
To see these people,
this is what
Wow,
they
he's
mean.
big
Yeah,
guy.
Wow, you really do
Damn.
smell like wolf piss.
Yeah.
That'd be really cool.
I am so excited to see all of this unfold. For the three of you now, there was something in the little briefing that I got that we didn't get to discuss, and it caught my eye. It said all of our ghosts are going to be looking for ways to change their afterlife for the better and take advantage of this time they do have to change and grow. Can you each tease something about them in season 4 that will help them change and grow?
Well, I think that's the premise of the entire series. That's the framework of the entire series. Whether or not we do that successfully. I mean, can I just say some of my most favorite moments are when we're just complete idiots on this show. Like Richie has the best scream in all of show business.
100%.
I had a line where I got to talk about snake oil being the actual oil from snakes that you could press. I just love the absurd, silly, ridiculous sides of our show.
Totally.
And then we will learn and change and grow along the way. But, you know.
And I think Pete with his new power is going to be forced to grow in more ways than one, right? Like he's going to be meeting new people. He's going to be having brand new experiences that he hasn't had in his afterlife. So I think anytime you're, introduced to new experiences like that, we're going to see this character change and grow.
And you'll see, I think we're going to see something with Pete too, which is it's the first time he's had the coolest anything in the room.
That's a very
True.
good point.
And we can already see in the first couple of episodes that we're shooting, it's getting to his head.
Yeah.
It's very much
He's
taking...
becoming cocky, which the other ghosts not a big fan
It's
of.
becoming your identity.
It has to be so much fun to play.
Yeah, it's so fun.
It's like the guy in your friend group who gets a motorcycle.
And he won't shut up about the motorcycle.
All of a sudden it's like, I got the leather jackets. I had to get the pants.
Oh, sorry, didn't even realize my helmet was still on.
Yeah, it's that for sure.
Yeah.
How about for you, Román? Got anything?
I would just say for Sass, I think
Here
here we go.
That fire
Can't
truck
be
has
great.
a
Yeah,
long
can't be
way to
great
drive.
Sound can't be great.
Just
That
so we
happens
know.
whenever someone is about to say a spoiler.
I think for Sasappis, he's going to be really excited to dive more into romantic relationships and just see that vulnerable side of him. Because I think he's suppressed it for so long, and it's come out in the last few years in these seasons, and we're just going to see him grow through that.
You think Sass and Pete might find love with each other?
I think Sass and Pete
I
are
hope
going
so.
to make out.
Oh, my God.
Fans are screaming for it.
The
There you
people,
go.
They are.
Yeah,
They're
the
ready.
people are here for it.
Ready.
There's something specific for Sass in terms of like the way they phrased his character description for the season that caught my eye. They said that he hits a midlife crisis, and like motorcycles now have that on my brain. What is having I guess it's afterlife too. What does having a mid-afterlife crisis mean to him? What is he struggling with most?
I think he's coming to grips with the fact that he hasn't been living. Even in his death, he wasn't even living. He was just commenting. He was judging, and when in reality, he's just been suppressing who he is.
He's been too scared.
Too scared,
to
exactly.
afterlive.
Too scared, too insecure, too afraid of getting hurt. And so now he's putting himself out there to get hurt, but that takes bravery and courage. So I'm proud of him. So
I hope you don't lose your snark though, because you do it so well.
he ain't losing
Been
that.
hundreds of
And
years.
he's, the youngest and most beautiful amongst us. God damn him! But he also is the very oldest ghost, which I think is just so a wonderful.
He also, I'll
juxtaposition.
tease something. In episode 2 of this season, Sass has the funniest line
Oh, that's
that
true,
I've
and it involves
ever
Richie.
heard. Involving Pete. It is so
We
funny.
haven't shot it yet, and Rich is
And I
putting so
can't
much weight
wait.
on it, and I'm just like, all right,
You
let's
can't
loosen.
screw it up. It is made for you.
I
It
know,
is
you're
so
right.
funny.
You're right.
I can't wait.
I love
very
the
fun.
fact that this tease means that now when I see it, I'm going to be like,
You are. You'll know. You'll
nailed it.
know too. You'll
Nailed
be
it.
like, what?
You'll definitely know. It's a great line.
It's
The,
so
the
funny.
writers,
The writers
gave me
are
a
killing
gift.
it.
They
Yeah.
gave me a gift.
I
Yeah.
can't wait.
It's quick and it's funny.
Rebecca, specific Hetty question for you now. So we know that she's going to help Sam run the B&B.
Yeah, that was news to me today. So that's exciting.
Oh,
I
yeah.
love working with Rose. I love that
Oh.
dynamic.
Yeah, it's
Rose has
beautiful.
such a tortured relationship with all of the mother figures in her life. Both Jay's.
Sam does.
Yeah. Oh, yes. Oh, yes. Very good clarification.
Yeah, let's keep Rose's personal life out of this.
Sam, in fact, worth noting, Sam's mother, we've all met her and she is a lovely woman. But my point is that
Rose's mother.
Rose's mother. Again, you've bungled this.
I'm genuinely
every way you
shocked
could.
I haven't done that with you
are
all at one point.
SGDQL. CCTV.
We're here.
Anyway,
IGMC.
Samantha has very difficult relationships with the mother, figures in her life. Jay's, Utkarsh's mother, Jay's mother, and then
that tracks.
the mother that Hetty represents, and so.
If you
Boy, that was a really insightful and
Point is,
brief
it's going to be
commentary.
fun.
I'll take fun. I'm going to get serious with it again, though.
Yes.
And I feel like this is safe to ask if you didn't really know about this. It's
Yeah.
more about theorizing. What do you think is something that Hetty will actually be useful for, like in terms of running it well, but also what is something she doesn't know about running a successful business that maybe she could stand to gain from Sam?
Well, we got a little taste of this last year. She doesn't know how to handle human interactions with people that she perceives to have less power or status than herself. So that's certainly problematic in terms of being a successful manager, in my opinion, at least. I think. I think she has a really wonderful business mind. She's just rather unscrupulous with how she goes about business.
Big on hiring children too, which I'm sure Sam is not going to be a fan of.
Yeah.
I
No,
bet you
but
urge them to.
She's a strong woman, even despite the fact that she came up in a time where she was allowed very little in that way.
Yeah.
She's got really strong opinions, and sometimes Sam can be a little bit too, as the character's written, people pleasy. She tries too hard to keep everyone happy, which ultimately makes her miserable. And I think Hetty's been really helpful in getting her to find her own strength in that way.
I think you're right.
The problem is Hetty doesn't know math because she wasn't allowed.
Well, exactly.
to
there
learn
are
it.
all these ridiculous things. She's a strong businesswoman. She does all these other things, but yeah, she doesn't. She still has a problem with the Irish. She never learned math, but yeah, she's just bossy. She's good at being bossy.
Okay. Bossy, but doesn't know math. I could see how that that works in her favor, but against her. Richie, for you now.
Yeah.
So Pete can leave the property. What place do you think he wants to go to most, and what place do you think he needs to go to most?
Well, I think we're either going to see him visit his family or hear about him visiting his family. I don't know what's going to happen, but of course, I think that's the first thing he would want to do. Spend more time with his daughter, spend more time with his grandson, getting to know him more. And then you ask the place he would not want to go.
No, the place he might need to go the most, even if he doesn't know it yet.
I think he needs to see the little girl who shot him and killed him. I feel like there's got to be some episode in his either through Sam, telling this girl that it's okay, right? Because this kid made a terrible mistake and murdered a man while she was at
We met in the Dumb Deaths episode. We met one of the other
who
campers
was present, but
and
not
that
the
was
one
a
that
wonderful.
shot me.
Yeah,
And I think that it would probably be a painful but interesting relationship to explore. Yeah.
Hear me out. I have a pitch.
Yeah.
You go to meet the person. Turns out she just died, and then you get to see her as a ghost.
and help her.
and like have a full conversation with her about it.
Yeah, and she's been holding on to it
Oh,
since
and
she was a
instantly-
child.
she instantly
she
goes
lets,
up.
and then she lets the guilt go
And she
gets
sucked
sucked
off.
off.
Okay, see you guys later.
Wow.
That would be so cool.
Thank
would
you
be
for
cool.
joining
That's a
us,
pretty
Ed.
good pitch.
That's a good pitch.
Someone showed us to the
Yeah.
Joes. I really wanted to end on this question because during the panel, one of my favorite parts, Utkarsh, is when you sung Román's praises. I just thought it was a beautiful
Yeah.
thing.
Well,
And
thanks.
it's one of the things I've always loved about all of you all along is you really seem to love each other and be really proud of each other. So
sure.
whether it is whatever you've shot this season or any season of the show, can you each name a time when you saw a co-star do something that made you go like, wow, that was something else, and I'm proud of you?
Sure. You know, I think Rose McIver would be the first one to admit that that comedy is something that she's learning to be better at. And I think she can sometimes get in her own way when it comes to like Richie, who's a great improviser, Danielle, Sheila. But she's really she's extremely funny. And seeing her in the Christmas episode take on Devin's character
Agreed.
and be
Yes.
possessed by Thorfinn and really take that same tenacity that she takes to the script as, you know, she's a great actor, but to fully embody that character was hilarious.
Amazing.
Agreed.
And
Agreed.
the timing, the musicality of it. I told her, I mean, she's great.
I would give Rose and Sheila both. This will be hard to get through, but like the two of them becoming moms and going through both being pregnant while we're shooting, but also raising two babies while we're shooting. My wife and I had a 6-week-old when we started shooting the show. And I know how insanely hard it is. And I'm not a woman. I'm not dealing with like the recovery process from having a baby, all that comes along with breastfeeding and motherhood. I'm insanely proud of the two of them for the work they've done so far. And like, I just know how difficult it is and endlessly impressed by them.
Yeah, Devin had he's got a small baby too, but that's not nearly as impressive.
I mean, it's so hard to be a parent, period. But
not
we
not
both
for
know
Devin.
that it's way harder to be a woman having a baby.
Yeah, it's a miraculous
Incredibly
thing.
difficult.
We were saying this to them just the other day. They are absolutely killing it. And
Yeah.
never
such hard
complaining.
work.
Yeah.
Well, I want to give Rebecca her flowers. I know we talked about holes are bad, but like that episode was so intense on the page, and then when we were shooting it, it was so intense. And when you're shooting a comedy, you come to work, you thinking you're gonna laugh and just everything be easy. But that day when we shot those really tough scenes, you just handled it so well with such grace, and it was a lot, but you crushed it because you had to go to those deep places, and then the way that it just read on screen was just absolutely gut-wrenching and beautiful, and you just did so well. And still laughing at the end of the episode, which it was just, I love that episode.
Well, that was a joint effort that episode managed to have laughs in it, and it really did. And a big shout out to Sheila because I think that's one of my favorite moments in that episode because that's her episode as well. I mean, when she returns after being gone for so long, and she walks in, and that's the most moved Hetty. The choice I made was that's the most moved Hetty is in the entire episode is when she comes back in and she says, guess what, guys, I robbed a bank once. And it just made me want to cry. I mean, she's so her. And we missed her so deeply.
did,
to have her back and to have her come back and just be so right on the money. And just like, I mean, she had a great flashback where we realized that she was a law student. I want to see more of her character. I want to see more of that development and who she
Totally.
was before she, died in this incredibly inebriated state. I mean, it's a very interesting character.
I mean, like, I feel like Danielle Pinnock, who plays Alberta, has really blossomed while being on the show into this sort of real force on camera and off.
It's incredible.
Asher just won so many awards for a
Yes.
short film.
Oh my God, yeah.
He won
Asher's
at Cannes.
wonderful
He won
director,
at Cannes. He won some awards. His legs look great. Devin and Sheila, their love story is so special. And then, of course, the guy who comes in and is like, hey, how's it going? And then effortlessly is just so hilarious is Brandon.
I know, Brandon.
I mean,
Brandon
you can't
is
really...
kind of,
he's a
Brandon-
genius.
He's kind of our North Star. And the first couple episodes of this season are...
He's
He
so
is
good.
he is possibly the funniest he has ever
Yeah,
been.
I agree.
The Joes take him on such a wonderful journey this season that I think the fans are really
he's
going to
going
enjoy.
back to the Isaac that I think a lot
Yeah.
of people loved from season one, of just the guy who thinks he's in charge of every room and is always vying for like political power in any room that he's in.
Yeah, yeah.
It's really funny to see him try to pick who's going to win and follow that.
Totally.
You'll see.
But in
You'll
terms
see.
of what's funny and who we love and delight in making laugh the most, and who kind of can determine the temperature in a room, it's Brandon Scott Jones. He's kind of our
Yeah.
North Star.
Yeah, 100%.
You guys are so special. Your
Thanks.
show is
We
so
love
special.
this show.
I know you know this, but the energy in that room, it's always really big. But what
So
you had
surprising.
today really just goes to show how much people connect with what you make.
Yeah.
So congratulations.
Thank you
so
for being
much.
The best.
so good at
Yeah,
what you
you're
do.
amazing.
We
Awesome.
loved having you moderate.
Really.
Love doing it with you.
We were so lucky to have you.
I don't know what to say. I don't know how to take a compliment.
None of us
We
do.
love you so much.
You're the best.
honestly.
Thank you so
That's how we
much.
compliment each other.
Congratulations.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thanks, guys.
We'll see you next time at the TTV CDCs.
SBBLT.
CDBDBD.